All right, Nooch. Episode 4 of Off the Sheet podcast coming your way. Been a little bit here. Took a little bit of a hiatus. Got a little crazy over the last couple weeks. Got a little busy, but that's okay. That's the podcast world. You can hop on and off whenever you really feel like it. We're happy to be back. How has Tyler Antonucci's life been over the last week, 2 weeks here?
Today has been a really good day. It's been a long time coming for me. I finally got a cyst, abstract, whatever you want to call it, a
Proud of
growth
you,
on my
proud of you, proud of you,
a
proud of you.
growth on my chest has finally been removed. Pain, infections, meds, the whole 9 yards. But we finally climbed the mountain, reached the top. That thing is gone. Hopefully it doesn't come back, but that happened today. During the week, nothing really. Went to the Rangers game on Sunday. Um, I One of my favorite things in the world attending the Rangers games lately is when Laugh um, does really well. I'll leave the garden and I'll just under my breath, louder than usual, so people can hear me. He's a bust. We should trade him. And just everyone looks at me like I have four heads, and then it just plants the seed for like these guys were like talking like he was the next Nile Yakupov, like where he's not that bad, and obviously he's getting good minutes. He's got confidence, so that was one thing. Love watching him play. He's one of my favorite players. Another favorite player, while I'm on that topic, that I've been love watching, Lucas Raymond, huge fan. Think he's going to start filling the net. So that could be a little NHL player to watch for my segment, but I'll get into my player to watch a little bit later here. So Rangers game, obviously coaching practices, cyst removal, any other big things I had. Just a couple dinners here and there, a couple dinners coming up, and then Thanksgiving break, family's coming home. And that brings, the Thanksgiving Eve, the best holiday in the United States, to the table.
Wow, really? Is that what you're going with on that? Because I honestly couldn't disagree more.
Thanksgiving Eve is the best holiday.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's as bad, if not worse, than New Year's. Like, it's an overrated, hype night that's just a complete waste of time.
Okay, well, that's why we have opinions, and you might prove yours close to correct, and I might prove mine. But I like to have my siblings come home from college, and my brother living in Miami. I like to have a good time, and you don't have to worry about anything. You wake up, and the next day you're having great food. You're seeing family. It's a great time of the year, and there's no like gifts, and obviously gifts are great, but there's no extra demand on anything. You're just going to a holiday. It is what it is. Everything's on the table, and you're having a blast, and you could even sit home if you want. You don't have to go out. I'm not saying you
And you
have to
get to
go
watch
out.
football all day.
Right.
You got 3 football games
I
on
don't
a
see any
Thursday.
negatives to the holiday.
I'm not saying Thanksgiving as a whole. I'm saying Thanksgiving Eve is just an overhyped, stupid night
Correct. That's what I
to
meant.
go
I don't see
out.
any negatives to it. You're just taking the obviously because Tyler's talking. Nooch would be, it would just be a regular holiday, but for Tyler, it's a different holiday, and it's just going to be a lot of worlds colliding, and I'm really excited for it to get together with cousins, friends, siblings, and have a good night together.
Is
So
this the first Thanksgiving Eve for Tyler? Like, because Tyler's a new version of you. Is
it's the
this
first
Tyler
Thanksgiving
didn't
Eve.
exist last year?
It's the first Thanksgiving Eve for Tyler. It's the first time I think all of my siblings are 21 years old. Um, well, that's a fact. I don't know why I said I think.
Yeah,
So that's the first time. I
it's a
mean,
yes or no type of thing.
I just there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of potential on the table. I think Thanksgiving is going to be
Where
a
are you
blast.
going? Where are you going? Where are you headed to? Do you want to reveal that to the listeners? Or
That's still actually to be determined. I might not go out with my siblings. I might go out with them. They might go out with their other friends. What do you got going on over there?
I got a bee in the house. I
Okay.
actually got to kill it.
All right. Take care of that.
Yeah.
Get the B. We're sorry
Um.
for the B delay.
Yeah.
As I was saying, the Rangers tickets are about 350 to 500, which is crazy. I wanted to go with my brothers, but I go to a lot of games. They don't, so be a generous brother. They get the tickets. They're obviously not
Good
mine, but
family man. Good family man.
yeah, so they'll enjoy that. Like I said, Cornell BU at the Garden. I wish I could go. That's going to be sick. But other than that, a lot of hockey, in my life. No Tyler at all. I haven't seen him in months, so that's a really good sign. He'll definitely be around. I think he's flying home for Thanksgiving, that break. So I'll let Tyler know that you said hello. Maybe he'll even call you. But what did you get up to these past couple weeks? How you been?
Busy man. Busy, like you said. Lots of hockey. Whole lot of nothing else, to be honest with you. I mean, had a nice little Sunday there last week. Coming off of our last weekend here on a nice little break. Currently off from work life right now for the week, so that's kind of nice. Kind of just reset, refocus before the stretch run going into Christmas break. It's been nice, quiet week here so far. Other than that, man, like you said, lots of hockey. Um, I think I've been to a Ranger game too since the last time we spoke and recorded.
Nice.
Uh, Hit a little e-bug action for them, so that was fun. Rangers take care of me well there. They do a great job. Only thing that I kind of like hate about it is driving into Manhattan, one of the worst places in the world to drive into.
Brutal.
It's bad going in there, but then when I get there, I kind of enjoy it because it's like if you're not an alpha, like you get like pigeon tossed all over the place.
As you're driving.
Yeah, like you could be
Yes.
driving and like pigeon toss, but like if you're an alpha, it's like kind of fun once you get into the city and can really just like assert dominance onto other people and just making a right out of the left lane, making, just buzzing by cars, whizzing by cabs. So it kind of sucks driving in. I kind of hate that.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get in there, it's like super alpha. Like I feel really good about myself when I'm driving in Manhattan
It's like a
because it's
game
show. Oh yeah, it's kind of like GTA a little bit, and like a
without
nice,
the other stuff, just the driving aspect of
just the
GTA.
driving aspect of it. Yeah, like when you're bored sometimes and like you hop on GTA and be like, oh, I'm just gonna drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, none of
Okay.
the other stuff. We don't want to get into any of that other stuff. That's all.
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
no. We'll stop. We'll stop there. We'll stop there. We'll stop there. We'll stop there. But yeah, man, not a lot going on. Nice and quiet, like that. Coming up to the holidays, like you said, super excited for it. Big Christmas guy. Really excited for Christmas to come around the corner. Hoping for a little bit more snow this year than normal. A little disappointed how dry it was. I'm a big snow guy. That's a no. Okay.
I
Well,
love
again,
snow, but I'm scared.
opinions.
I'm scared to park in Hoboken with the snow. I
Oh,
think that's
Hoboken,
just
it's gonna suck.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
torture.
Hoboken's going to be a mess. But let's get into some hockey talk here. So start us off. I think I'm going to start on the college side of things, to be honest with you. And I want to talk about two schools in particular:
Bring him out. Bring him
Wisconsin,
out.
Wisconsin and Maine.
Hmm.
Back.
So back.
I mean, there's no other way to put it besides the number one team and the number 9 team in the country right now are just absolutely back. Came back with a vengeance. Wisconsin, I mean, Mike Hastings, what are we doing, dude? Like, just come over to a new school. It's my world. I'm better than everybody at coaching and recruiting and all that stuff. And I'm just going to start out on a nice 9-1 trajectory here to start the year. My first 10 games and take over the number one ranking in the country. Like, are you kidding me? What an absolute job by Mike Hastings.
Send a message. He, step foot in and make your mark. And I mean, 9-1. Like, I don't know if the same rules apply as they do in the NHL, where like at Thanksgiving, certain amount of points or that crazy statistic percentage wise. But 9-1 in college hockey to start out, I think you're a pretty good team. I don't think you really got to prove to anyone that you're going to have a good rest of the season unless something crazy happens. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
that's
agree
no
with that.
joke.
Yeah.
That's absolutely like they're impressive. And the one team they've lost to is the number 2 team in the country right now, North Dakota. They both played
Mm-hmm.
in the icebreaker earlier in the year, lost a 2-0 game. And as much as the icebreaker is supposed to be a neutral site, it was played at North Dakota this year, so it was basically a road game for Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, man, they're impressive. It's been a lot of fun to watch them. They play with a little bit of everything. It's just straight 200-foot hockey all over the place. They're fun to watch, exciting to watch, and now they're really going to get into the heart of Big Ten play and really see what they're all about. Moving over to the Maine Black Bears, another team that's just been on the outside looking in for a long time now. Ben Barr putting his stamp on the University of Maine finally, getting some of his own recruits and stuff in there and really doing his thing, coaching it up big time up there. Just came off a big weekend against former number one in the country, Boston College, as they came out with a 4-2 win on Friday night and then a 2-2 tie on Saturday, where I believe Maine did take the extra point
In the
in a
shootout.
shootout for Hockey East standings purposes. But the Maine Black Bears, man, being led by the two freshman brothers, Bradley and Josh Nadeau. Bradley, the 32nd overall pick by the Carolina Hurricanes, I believe it was.
Okay.
I believe it was 32nd, last one of the first round. Is that what it is now? 32 teams in the National Hockey League. So being
Yeah.
led by the two brothers there, they're just bringing everything they did out in Penticton, bringing it right to the University of Maine, wearing the same colors, going to win championships, going to win hockey games. Two impressive kids there, Bradley and Josh Nadeau, coming from the Penticton V's last year and absolutely carrying the Maine Black Bears through the first 8 games of the season, where they're 6-1-1.
Yeah.
And impressive.
Wasn't that shootout where that kid scored that sick goal? Wasn't that the shootout where he did like the one-handed 5-hole deke? I think I saw that on Twitter. That was Maine. I could be completely wrong, but I'd have to
I
look
think
that
you're
up.
right.
Don't fact check me, but I'm pretty sure Maine BC shootout is where that kid did that absurd. I watched like 10 times because I really want to learn how to do that on the ice. I
It's
can't
like
figure
that
out.
half move, like push the puck, right? Through the
Yeah, it's
five
like
hole.
one-handed on your backhand though. It's wild. So if you want
Yeah,
to
you
check
like
that,
push the
well,
puck through. It's
yeah.
crazy.
So, obviously recapping the D1 there, I'm gonna swing still in college hockey. Just a quick tangent here because I gotta say something. I've been seeing a lot of it. Why? First of all, it's unbelievable what these teams do. But why are the ACHA schools' jerseys so much cooler and so much better at getting released than every other hockey team in the world?
Did you see the North Carolina ones? Was that you who sent it to us today?
Dude, they got Air Jordan on their bubbles.
It's wild.
But
It's
like
so sick.
I'm like I was looking at Oswego's, like even Oswego's ACHA jerseys are cool. My brother obviously plays at SHU Sacred Heart. They're doing an autism awareness game. They got the puzzle piece jerseys going on. Awesome. I would buy it. My mom says she is, but I would buy my brother's. I'd frame that thing in my room. But they're not only the jerseys, but the jersey release. All of that is just. I just wanted to touch on that because it's just so cool to me. Some of the jerseys that are coming out and the way they like release them on Twitter is awesome.
Yeah, I mean they absolutely crush it. Though, like even the ones you sent me of who was it? It was Oswego. The way
Yeah,
that they
so I
did their
said
jerseys,
on the lake and
it's
the with
so
the
sick.
rocks.
Oh yeah, so sick. Do you see? Speaking of ACHA club hockey and everything, do you see the? Did you see the showcase that's happening this weekend out in Chicago? I believe it is.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Minot State's out there.
Where is
You're
the
just
showcase
you're.
being held?
It's in Chicago. It's in
Yeah, but like, do you
Chicago.
know where?
I don't know what rink or arena or anything it's at.
Okay, so there's a lot of top teams there.
Yeah, like I know Arizona State's going. Minot State will be there. There's a bunch of schools going. And it's actually sick. Like I need more of that. Like I need that in college hockey, in like NCAA hockey.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I need
Like let's
jerseys
just
like
get
that.
like 8 or 9. I think Ohio's out there. They're gonna be out there. UNLV is going, I believe. But I
We
need,
love the ACHA. We love it.
yeah, I need like showcases like that are happening in Chicago this week. I need like 1 through 8 right now in the NCAA to like meet in like Vegas.
So we're talking take the NBA in-season tournament format and throw it into the NCAA.
I could get down with something like that, but I want neutral sites though. I want neutral sites. I
That's
don't want,
fine. Okay, let's do
yeah.
neutral sites because a lot of the college hockey tournaments are like holiday tournaments where a team hosts 4 teams will go, or 3 teams will go to that site,
Yeah,
play two games, one against someone, blah blah blah, winner winner, and then yeah, so neutral site, everyone goes. Doesn't they? I think they do a holiday tournament in Vegas. I'm pretty sure some
yeah, they
D1
do.
teams do that. That's cool.
Hmm.
Also, the Sphere is just that was absurd. The concerts that are being held there, they're saying a basketball game. Imagine a hockey game in that thing. Imagine a college hockey tournament in the Sphere.
I don't think you could fit like a rink in there though.
Oh, you don't know how big it is.
I don't think that's possible. Just
I
from the
think
way I've seen like videos of the configuration of it and everything. Is that even possible to fit a rink in there?
I don't know. I think anything's possible these days, especially like at the Garden the other day. The fact that like I know it's been going on for a while, but the basketball turning into the hockey rink transformation, like that is
Oh, it's
so
so
cool,
sick.
so sick.
It's so sick. They absolutely crush it the way they do that.
All right, so we're gonna off the sheet is gonna sponsor college hockey Division 1 NCAA tournament. We're gonna invite the top 8 boppers to the neutral site. We're gonna let them go at it. That's what we're coming to. Is that the conclusion here?
I think that's kind of where we're getting to right now. Yeah.
All right, so I'll make some calls. I got you. Well, Shaps, first interview, baby. We're here. We got our first guest coming, Iowa, home and born and raised, Titans legend, I would say. I like to call myself Titans legend, but he's got a couple more GPs than me, a couple more jerseys worn. Robert Morris forward, and the biggest thing, the 0809 Brick Invitational. Point score more than Quinn Hughes, future Norris Trophy winner. I'm going to say that now. That's a hot take, as well as Brady Kachuk. So, Gavin Gulash, welcome to the Off the Sheet Pod. First question. Let's lead into it. How does it feel to have more points in the Brick Invitational than Quinn Hughes and Brady Kachuk?
I guess it's good. I mean, they're in better places than I am now, so I think they got the last laugh. But we were 10. That was
Yeah,
gross.
I would hold on to I would hold on to that forever though, Gav. Like, are you kidding me? Come on, like
You
I
think
still hold
so?
on to. Oh yeah, I still hold on to stuff all the time. Like, how do you think I'm able to live and like survive at 30 years old right now? You got to hold on to some things in the past.
That's
Jeez,
fair. That's fair.
a little
yeah,
bit of a loser's mentality on my part, but that's why I'm
and the
podcasting
fact
at
that we
30 years
didn't.
old.
Yeah, I consider myself your friend too. I'm sure Shaps does. The fact that we didn't know about that, that's something my friends would know. I would definitely tell my friends that. So I
Oh,
agree. I would hold on.
I didn't know Quinn Hughes played in that too, like the same year. I mean, Brady was on my team, but besides that, I thought that was the only guy that was in like the
Yeah,
show
no,
that was playing
Quinn
then.
Hughes, Quinn Hughes was in it. Owen Tippett was in it. A lot of guys below Gavin Gulash on the points total for the Brick 0809 tournament. So
Not a big deal.
yeah, like I tell people all the time that like Stolar's backed me up for like 10 games. So like shout out Stoli. Hopefully you didn't hear that, but
I need
love
to
you,
have a
dude.
word with him too, but we'll get into that later.
All right, let's get into this a little bit here, Gav. Welcome to the podcast. Happy to have you. First one, exciting times. I thought you were the right fit for this one, so I want to start it off with you. Interesting path to hockey, a little bit different. Came from a non-traditional hockey market where you were born. Talk about hockey, how you got into it. You were born in Iowa, of all places. Obviously, I know there's some USHL teams and everything out there, but kind of talk to us about how you got involved in hockey in a pretty non-traditional market.
Yeah, so I mean, my dad played pro hockey all over the place even before I was born, and then he was playing in it was called like the UHL. I think it's like I think it's what the East Coast League was or something like that. But
Basically, yeah.
yeah, he was playing in Quad City for the Mallards when he met my mom and whatever. Then little Gav came along and he ended up retiring there, and my whole family lived there obviously ever since then. I had a little sister that was born after me, and then I lived there until I was 14. Then we moved to Jersey.
The move to Jersey, what, how, I mean, I guess this might be more of a question for your mom, I guess, but the move to New Jersey, why was New Jersey the place? Obviously, a lot more hockey out here. Did hockey at all have anything to do with the decision for you, or was it just family oriented? Like Jersey's the place to be family wise, and then figure out hockey afterwards.
No, it was actually kind of easier, the hockey situation, if we moved to Jersey, because when we were living in Iowa, like you said, it's not like really huge hockey market. So like 3, 4 days a week we were driving to Chicago to play and practice, even like right after school, get in the car and drive 2.5 hours all the way up to Chicago. I played for the Mission, TI, Chicago Huskies. I think those are the three in Chicago that I played. So no, it was kind of a pain in the ass driving that far, like almost every single day, and it was a lot out of obviously my parents and my mom get me to and from the rink for practice every day, especially with, I mean, three other kids. It obviously wasn't an easy task, but once we moved to Jersey, I ended up figuring out I was going to play for Team Comcast, even though I wasn't supposed to play there. I think we were gonna try and play for the Colonials, because when I was playing Mission, we beat the Colonials at Nationals, and then I think it was like a year or two later we ended up moving out there, and we figured they'd still be pretty good. But I guess a bunch of their guys had left and gone on the prep school from there, and um, their coach actually forwarded us to Darian Hatcher, who had
Yep.
pretty good U14 Comcast team that year. Um, so yeah, we got that done, and then it was actually super nice only having to drive like an hour and a half as opposed to like 2.5 hours. It felt like the time was cut in half, but it was still a pretty good hike, but it felt like nothing to us. So that was pretty nice. And then obviously ended up going and playing for the Titans in Middletown. So that commute went from even an hour and a half to like 5 minutes, which was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right? I mean, I know you came to Middletown right away once you came here from Iowa. I've always wondered how that first year of hockey happened for you, right? Because you still end up an hour and a half away almost. Obviously, I know it's a
Yeah.
little bit different than 2.5 hours, but you found a home with the New Jersey Titans there in 2014, 2015, playing on the 16U team and then up through 18s and obviously off to the junior team and everything. I guess just speak on a little bit of how much the Titans, helped in your development, have meant to you, right? Because you spent 7 years with one program. It's no short stint, right? I
Yeah.
guess just speak a little bit about the youth program, and then we can get into juniors a little bit as a separate talking point here.
Yeah. So my family has been pretty close with the Havlins for a while. Like my whole family's from New Jersey. I guess I didn't really answer that before. Like my aunt, my grandparents, they all live
Mm-hmm.
in Middletown. So I had a good amount of family there before, and my aunt had a pretty good relationship with Mike Havlin, especially when he worked with the Blackhawks. Like he brought the Stanley Cup to her bar that she was working at. Um, so then obviously she knew George through him, and when I went back to try out for the U16 Comcast team, I got cut, and like the next day, George Havlin was calling my mom and I, like trying to figure out if I'd want to come play in Middletown and basically stay in Middletown and play, which was super cool. Obviously, not having to drive that far anymore, getting to stay at home, hang around with family a little bit more. But yeah, and then played 16s. It was with 98s and 99s that year, and we were all right. We weren't too bad, but I mean, I was just happy I was getting to play hockey like somewhat closer to home, I guess, and just getting acclimated with high school and all that kind of stuff still. So that was
Yeah,
nice. And then my second U16 year, we were pretty loaded. We had like Jimmy Dowd, Jeffers, like Julian Kislin, like those kind of guys were on our team, so we were pretty good, which that was a lot of fun. We were really
and
good that
that's
year.
that's like was that the year you found your goal scoring touch right there? Like,
Yeah, yeah, I think
I
that year
mean,
was kind of the year
was
I.
that 50 tucks in one year right there? Like, was
That's
that
that's
like Gavin Gulash's coming out party? Was that second year 16s or what?
that's the year that he got introduced to high school hockey and needed to start filling the net with all the girls in the stands. So it transferred over to AAA hockey. He needed to make sure that he was still filling the net because they were like, this can't be just a high school thing. So
Yeah,
I think that had to play a huge part in it,
Had to prove it
huge
wasn't a
part.
fluke.
Yeah, it
especially
wasn't
with
just high school puck.
the amount of people that filled the stands, for those high school games. But
Those games were
that's
rowdy. They were
yeah.
fun.
Those are the best, man. They still are too. It's crazy. Like, I'll stick around for the first Middletown North, Middletown South high school game every year just to see how packed it gets. And like I'll stick around for the first period. It's nuts.
That
I
was
need more
that
high
was the
school hockey
first
back in
game
my
I ever
life.
played in Middletown. Was my freshman year. Our first game was the North South game in Middletown. That was like I think the rink was like brand new that year.
How are those
Yeah, right. I
pregame
think
jitters?
What's
like
that?
Were you
quick
nervous?
1,500 people in the stands or what?
I
Yeah.
think even more than that. It was nuts. It wasn't bad. I mean,
Was that
maybe
the
a little
biggest
bit
game you played in, like up to that
up
point
to
in your
that point.
hockey?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I feel like I was kind of bugging out a little bit, just because I was like, "There's a lot of people here." I
Yeah.
was like, for high school hockey, that's kind of crazy. But I was like, it's a North South like rivalry type thing, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But it was nuts.
Did you guys, and when you were at South, did you ever make state tournaments and stuff? Like, what was your guys' success like at South? Because obviously, I know Middletown North's kind of taken over what's happening here in Middletown right now, high school hockey
Mm,
wise.
yeah.
Did South ever do anything with Gavin Gulash at the helm or no?
Yeah, my senior year we lost in the state quarters or the state semis, I think.
So you
To
never made
Shane
it to
Havlin and
Prudential
Wall. I think
Center.
the kid had like fucking 6 tucks that game. It was stupid.
Goal scorer Shane Havlin. The one thing he's
Yeah,
known for, he can score goals.
yeah. But
Standing
no,
out
we
one spot
never.
on the power play.
But yeah, no, we never made it to the Prudential Center.
Me neither, man.
All right. I made it one time. We lost 7-0, so it's all cracked up to be.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it though.
Yeah, overrated.
Yeah, 100% overrated. I agree with that. It's not completely worth it.
Just meant the season was going longer. Not for me.
So moving on from some youth hockey here, you probably were one of the more. I mean, I think it's a privilege getting to play youth hockey at a high level so close to home, and then being able to play junior hockey so close to home. For 3 years, you played in the North American League with the Junior Titans of the North American League. What was it like? How was that process? I believe, if I remember correctly, you were a tendered player by them back then. What was that process like? That recruitment process like? I know it's a little different, probably being in your own building, but the privilege to be able to play junior hockey at home. How cool is that?
Yeah, that was sick. I mean, you almost think like you're kind of missing out in a sense, just because like kids get to move away from home, kind of, be on their own a little bit, billeting, being somewhere new. Um, and I think I would have enjoyed that, but like being able to like say you stayed at home and you didn't really have to change much. It's just you're just playing hockey at a higher level. I thought that was super cool. I tendered after my first U18 year. It was kind of weird. It was like just before practice one day, George had just said, "Hey, like, do you want to tender with the NA team?" And I was like, "Yeah, staying at home be kind of cool." So I did that, and like to be honest, like I mean, I knew that that meant like I was playing for the Titans next year. Like my NA rights were with the Titans next year, but I didn't know like 'cause obviously like we hadn't really been educated on that kind of stuff before, so like you didn't 100% really know what it meant. I mean, I figured that like they had interest in I'd still have to go make the team, obviously, which I'm happy I ended up doing that. But yeah, it was kind of cool just being able to tell them, hey, I don't got to move out just yet. So yeah, kind of got to deal with me.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. I'm sure mom was happy
No,
about that. Come on.
yeah, she
That
loved it.
had to be an easier tender than mine. I think I at least made a phone call after I got my paper. I thought my tender was easy, like I was fully on board, but I definitely made a phone call after. I think you just
Well,
signed the
yeah,
paper right after.
I literally signed it before practice, went down, got dressed, went to practice, and then when I went to turn it in, like to give it to Craigie, it was like really the first time I'd ever talked to him, and it was the same night as one of the North South games, and so I'm wearing like the business casual stuff for high school
Yeah, like
hockey, and I go up
the
there and I handed,
khakis and stuff.
yeah, khakis looking like a total tool, and I go up there and I give it to Craigie, and he goes, thanks, we're really excited about it. He's like, also I'm staying for the game, so don't be a bag of shit. And like I almost thought he was kidding, so I go, I'll try. He goes, no, seriously, don't be a bag of shit. I think
Yeah,
I had
and I
four
think
that night in the first period.
Yeah,
yeah,
the Middletown South coach went up to the office. He's like, "Hey, Craig, thank you so much. Could you speak to him every game?"
Yeah, that was kind of scary, but that was
No, but
my
I think
first
that's your
impression with
first.
Craigie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think as you played nearly 150 games for the guy, I think that's pretty on point with probably who he is and what you got to know
Yeah,
him as. Right? I mean,
yeah,
still a prominent person, prominent player back in the New Jersey Titan history. Right? You're sitting fourth in goals for all-time goals for. Right? You're 11 off the pace, which was just broken last year and everything by Anthony Calafieri. But you're sitting there again, single season. You're tied for second right now in single season goals for. So left a lasting legacy in New Jersey. I think you're gonna be, you're gonna always kind of be remembered as one of the players that lived through COVID and went through COVID and what happened with COVID. And especially for you being in what was your last year of junior hockey, fortunately, you were committed by that point, and we'll circle back on the Robert Morris stuff after we kind of speak on this. What was that experience like during the COVID canceled season? Obviously, you were on one heck of a hockey team who probably had pretty high aspirations that year, and then for it all to come to a halt, March, whatever it was in the middle of March. Just kind of speak on those feelings, what that year was like, not only on the ice but I guess off the ice as well.
yeah. We were disgusting that year. I thought. I mean, we had like I feel like we only lost a couple guys from the year before. I feel like that year we lost to Johnstown in I think it was the second round. Like we pretty much returned almost everyone, and then the guys that we did bring in were all pretty good too that could help contribute. So yeah, we were really old. We had a lot. I think we had like 17 age outs that year or something like that, like something outrageous. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like at that point, like a lot of guys like me and Jeffers, like we'd been there for 3 years. Me and Kyler had too. Um, like we'd all been there for a good amount of time already, and like already were pretty comfortable with each other. So it kind of made playing a little bit easier. Um, like and off the ice too. Like I still talk to those guys like every single day. Like those guys are my boys. They'll still be my best friends forever. Um, and yeah, to go through that year, like you said, like we were loaded and we were off to a really good start, and um, like we were pretty. I mean, we were in first, but I think we had a pretty good lead in first when everything got shut down. Um, I could be wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, no, that whole, I mean, not the whole year, but like just towards the end, it was super weird, just like having everything come to an end so quick. Like we just played a game on that Wednesday, like we beat Wilkes-Barre at home, or beat up on them like 5-2 or something like that at home, and um, we'd gone and we were like in the front of the rink. We were doing like the norm attacks, and we were seeing everything on Twitter and whatnot, like of like the NBA was the first one to shut down or something like that, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Like wasn't really something that we were expecting to see with all this like COVID stuff that no one really knew anything about. And I think like a day or two later, we ended up having like a meeting with Craig, like all the coaches, George, Jimmy was in there, basically saying like the NA was shutting down and that basically the season was over regardless like of where we thought it was gonna go. Like it was just done, which was like I mean, I still feel like I haven't really gotten closure from that just because, like, there's a lot of what ifs, like, especially with you guys winning a couple of years later with the Titans. Like, you never really know, like, if we actually would have done it or not. Like, I really think we would have. Like, we would have steamrolled everybody, I think, in my opinion. Like, it was unfair, some of the games we were playing. But, yeah, like, you never really get that sense of closure because, like, you don't know what could have happened or what would have happened with all that kind of stuff. But so yeah, I think it left a lot of guys with like a sour taste just because I mean obviously like that's our last junior hockey experience and we never really got to see it through, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, especially for a team like you guys had, right? You spoke about it, kind of 17 age outs that year, all on one mission and really feeling yourselves throughout the whole time. And then for it to come to an abrupt end, it was crazy times back then. And obviously, you've endured quite a bit since as well. So I guess let's transition a little bit to Robert Morris. I guess let's just start. Why Robert Morris? What felt right about them? Obviously, there's monetary stuff and everything that is part of all these decisions and everything. But what felt right about Robert Morris? Why Robert Morris? And how was it, the whole process of committing to Robert Morris?
It was cool. I mean, obviously everyone wants to play Division I hockey or be able to go to college and play hockey at a high level. And I think since I was in high school, that was probably my main goal is just, to get to college hockey and be able to play just because, obviously coming from a family with a single mom and 4 kids, like it's not like, paying for school is really too much on the table without having to take out a ridiculous amount of loans. So obviously that's good enough of motivation. But yeah, it was my age out year. I talked to Robert Morris a little bit my first year. I think I talked to him one time after a game in Wilkes, but hadn't really heard from him then. Just got, a couple feelers every once in a while, nothing really too serious. Um, then my age out year came around and I had problems with my shoulder during junior. I'd had surgery like 3 summers in a row on the same shoulder, like just continuing to get beat up on the same one. But we finally got it fixed the right way, and um, we felt good about it and started off the year strong. And I think I played like 5 games that year, and I know Craigie had a good connection with Ryan Crothers, who was the coach that recruited me. He's not here anymore, but he was the one that recruited me for the most part when I committed. And yeah, like I didn't really have any like full blown connection here. I mean, my older brother played club hockey at Robert Morris in Peoria, Illinois, and I remember like going to watch his games when I was younger, and he'd always talk about like the nasty Division I team in Pittsburgh or whatever, and like I had no idea still, and it's kind of weird how everything kind of comes full circle, going to like the somewhat the same school but not the same school.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, but when they were the first school to offer me, and that was big for me just because I feel like I'm more of a loyal guy. Like people that believe in me, I'm gonna kind of try to give the same commitment back to them. And um, obviously being able to look at my mom and tell her I got a scholarship and the school's okay, we don't really have to worry about that was good enough for me. And yeah, it was kind of an easy decision to say yeah right away. I think I committed the next day.
No, that's great, man.
Easiest.
I think what's really cool is like you talk about commitment to somebody, right? Like a lot of kids nowadays, like want like a Robert Morris or and like one of these lower end Atlantic Hockey League schools right now to like be the first one to jump, so then it opens up the floodgates for other stuff, right? But I think that's pretty cool and a different view that I don't think a lot of kids have nowadays anymore. To really stick with when you're wanted, just go where you're wanted. Don't
Yeah,
use leverage and stuff like that. So I think that shit's awesome. You
I
had
was gonna
something there,
say,
Nooch? Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say easiest kid to be recruited. First offer, signed, tender. 10 minutes later, pen to paper.
I'm pretty convinced or convincible, I guess.
There you
What's the
go.
word for that?
Pretty
Yeah,
easily
easily
I'm
convinced.
easily
yeah,
persuaded.
easily influenced.
Yeah, just put it in
Oh,
front
that's
of me. I'll
too
sign
good.
it.
So I guess now it's hard not to talk about let's just talk about the perception of what you should be right now. You should be a senior in college,
Yeah,
but you're technically only a sophomore in hockey life.
hockey wise, yeah.
Let's talk about the cancellation of the program. We don't
Yeah,
need to
that
get into
sucks.
the politics and the details of it too crazy, right? I think let's all just
Yeah.
be careful on what we say here, but I think you've shown a pretty incredible commitment to Robert Morris where you should be able to say and do whatever you want over there.
I'd like to think
But
so.
what is that experience like going through a cancellation of a program like that and kind of leaving everybody empty-handed, and how did that whole process work, and how are you feeling about it now, looking back on it now that the program is back?
Yeah. It was weird. The whole thing was just kind of like it was just like a weird feeling afterwards, especially like leading up to it, because none of us had any idea that that was even remotely a possibility up until basically it happened. Um, yeah, we were really good my freshman year. We had a good team. We had a lot of guys that were going to be coming back. I think we were only losing 3 guys after my freshman year, and I think we were going to be really loaded again the following year. We had some good transfers coming in and some good recruits that ended up having to find other homes, but yeah, we got a like one of those automated texts you'd get just saying that like there was a Zoom call. It was like it was May 26th. So it was well into summer already, and yeah, we got like a text saying that we need to join this Zoom call and that like the university wanted to talk to us or something like that. Like no one really knew if we had to do it or not. So then like an hour goes by and one of our captains was like, yeah, like we got to join it. Like it's just they want to talk to us or something. So I kind of thought they were going to give us like a little tire pump for doing so well that year, just because I mean we were cracking the top 20 at certain points throughout the year. Like we were really good. And so sitting there in Florida, I was on vacation. I was with Kyle Jeffers actually sitting up there. I think I was eating nachos or something. Just joined this call on my phone, like not really expecting anything. And then as soon as I joined, I see all these people in like suits, and I was like, "What? Like this is kind of weird." A lot of people I'd never seen before, and then obviously all my coaches, my teammates, and stuff. And I think it lasted about like 2 minutes. They were just like, it was just the president talking, and he was like, "Yeah, we're not having men's and women's hockey next year. We're cutting the programs. Like it's nothing you guys did, whatever, blah blah blah." He gave us the whole spiel and then really just left. So um, from that point on, it was kind of like full blown panic mode, just because like we're already into the summer and schools are already pretty much done filling out their rosters, especially for transfers at that point. So like as soon as I hung up, I called Craigie. I was like, "Bro, they just gassed us." Like and like it hadn't even hit the like social media yet. It didn't take long to, but um I was in the portal right away. I mean, obviously just like everybody else on our team, like there's like 400 kids in it already at that point, just so there's a whole nother team that just got thrown on there. So um it was kind of like a scramble just to try to find somewhere to go if you could. Like there's not a lot of money out there, and if there was even less spots. Um so yeah, obviously that was tough, and with it being well into the summer, I ended up not really finding anything to do, and um, not to knock D3 hockey, but like I didn't want to go play D3 hockey, especially just because what.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
oh,
in my defense,
no,
they
I'm
did
kidding.
say that um, anybody who wanted to stay at the school could stay at the school and keep their scholarship that they were on. They wouldn't lose it.
Yeah, I would have done
Um,
that. Played ACHA as well.
yeah, I didn't want to do that either. Um, So, I mean, I couldn't really look at my mom after being like, "Hey, like we got all this money for school," and then be like, "Hey, now we're kind of screwed. It's nothing that we did or our fault, but we're kind of on the hook for school if I want to go somewhere else." And I mean, my mom was super supportive in that. She let me do whatever really I wanted and whatever I felt most comfortable in doing the following year, just because obviously like I had so much fun freshman year. Like it was probably one of the best years I've had just besides hockey, like all the people I met at the school, like outside of hockey, like there's a lot of good people out here, and I love Pittsburgh. Like I'll probably end up staying out here once I'm done with school, anyways. So yeah, like I love the area, and just kind of thinking of that all summer, and um, along with like guys trying to get the program back. Like there was a lot of people in our corner trying to fight for us and get our teams back. But like regardless of that, like I was fully prepared to just just grind it out, get my degree, and I mean hockey's gonna end one day anyways, so I'm gonna need to get a big boy job at some point. I can't really do that without going to school, so um, figured just grind it out, and I guess that's the way it was meant to be. But then so it was my sophomore year I went back. It was me and two other kids that were on my team the year before. They were both seniors, and we were the only ones there until one of my roommates this year actually came back halfway through that year. Um, but yeah, we just grinding it out, doing school, and towards the end of December, I think we got another one of those Zoom call texts. I mean, I knew that we had a lot of fundraising going on trying to get our teams back, but ended up getting a call from the athletic department saying that they were going to reinstate hockey, not for the following year, but 23-24, so this year. Um, I was like, holy, like to play hockey again. Like this is kind of sick. Like I
Go
was like, I
back,
never really. I
baby.
mean, it's one of those things like you don't really know what you have till it's gone. It was kind of it was a dark year for me. I think. Um, 'Cause I don't know. Like you think like it's not really your fault that this kind of stuff happens, but like I was kind of embarrassed walking around on campus sometimes just because they're like why are you still here? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like kids I knew would be like, why are you still here? Like all these kids are gone. Like why? What are you doing? And just having to explain yourself over and over again, like it gets old. And um, I don't know, it felt like it was something you did, but it was out of all of our controls in the first place. But yeah, to be able to at that point have something to look forward to get me through the rest of that year was pretty awesome. Just because, like I said, it was a tough year. Just going from playing Division 1 hockey to now I'm just a regular student. Like I got really good at Call of Duty, I will say that. But besides that, like there's not a whole lot to do. Just going out on the weekends, being a regular kid, and um, so yeah, there was that year, and then my junior year last year it was another weird year, but um, there was three of us that were on the team before. They had both transferred out, my other two teammates, and they had both come back to the school. Um, and then we recruited three freshmen to come in just to practice that year. That's all we really did. And then three times a week we'd skate, the six of us, and then there was six girls from the girls team, three freshmen, and then three returning ones as well. Same as us, that we would just skate and work out for the whole year. It was really just kind of like a practice year, which I mean, after having a whole year off was kind of nice, but by December you're kind of sick of just going to practice every single day and not playing a game. I think the only games we played in a couple ball hockey tournaments, like for charity. We went 9-0, so that was kind of nice. But um, besides that, it was kind of, again, like it was kind of a grind just to get through that. But I mean, knowing that, again, like you're eventually going to be able to play again was good enough motivation to get through it. Um, and then this year finally getting to be able to play again, it was something obviously I'm not going to take for granted ever again, just because I mean you wait so long to do it, and you see all your buddies going and playing in school that you played in junior with, and
Hmm.
keeping up with them, like you feel like you're almost missing out. Like um, so yeah, getting to play our first one this year it was really like it was weird. Like it was an emotional day, just because, like, I mean, my mom came out, like my little sister was here, like having a lot of family in the stands, and people that were like there for me, I guess, in that 2 year span where I feel like I kind of really lost who I was.
Hmm.
It was super sick just to be able to go out and play in front of that many people again. Like we sold it out. Like Pittsburgh's been awesome. Like the whole city has been awesome with fundraising and supporting us and getting us back on the ice. And um, yeah, it was really cool to be able to lace them up and play hockey again. So it's been fun through first like 9, 10 games this year so far.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's obviously a pretty good sum up of your career and obviously everything you did. I think the one question I want to ask, serious question, and then I'll give you a fun one after, then we'll let you go. But first question is, what would you tell a younger player right now in your position, or what would you tell your younger self going through everything that you've been through? Like one piece of advice.
Um, I mean, for other kids, like, I mean, you see all this stuff, like these kids, like, committing so young and all that stuff. Like, who really cares, to be honest? Because, like, at one point or another, you're going to find out where you're going, and it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of kids will be, like, I've said this to Shaps numerous times. Like, I don't know why kids are so, like, just eager to just leave where they're at, go somewhere else, thinking the grass is going to be greener somewhere else. And then a month later, they look like an idiot getting snipped from another team. And then they're scrambling looking for somewhere to go. I mean, um, like I stayed in Jersey for 3 years. Like the thought of leaving never happened once. Like there's kids that are leaving trying to go to play in the USHL, trying to play in different teams. They're not playing enough. Like, I mean, like I said earlier, like I feel like I'd rather see something through till the end and know that you did everything you can, rather than just bail and try to go somewhere else because you think it'll be better. So yeah, like I'd probably say to like a younger kid, probably just to stick it out and do your best, and everything's gonna happen the way it's supposed to work out itself. Um, and then advice I'd probably give myself would just be probably obviously like not take anything for granted. Like obviously
Just enjoy
gone
the
through,
moment.
yeah, I've gone through a bit of a bad stretch of luck with my junior career getting ended, and then I thought my
Yeah.
college career was getting ended after year one. Um, So yeah, just to, enjoy the little things, and like, I mean, going to the rink every day, like, yeah, some days it's a grind, some days suck, but like if you don't have that, like it's a lot worse. I can tell you that.
Yeah. And my last question, and then we'll let you go. Who's the best player you've ever played with?
The best player I've ever played with. I mean, are we counting when I was 10 and I played with Brady Kachuk, or like
Let's go
you
with
guys
the
said
best
that
player.
earlier?
Yeah, let's go with the best player that you can remember where like made you significantly better at hockey, whether it's a summer tournament, on your team, just college.
I mean, Jimmy Dowd, I played with Jimmy Dowd youth hockey and in junior my first year, and I mean, obviously he's disgusting as you see him at Penn State tearing it up. But besides that, I'd say, I mean, my buddy Kyle Jeffers, like that kid can score, and he always has been able to, and he can skate, and like he's one of my best friends, so obviously I'm a little bit biased, but
Give him a little
I mean,
pump.
yeah, a little pump. There you go, bud. You're welcome. Um, but no, like me and him were always like I said, we played U16, U18 together. Like we always kind of really pushed ourselves, like pushed each other to be better, and I think both of us benefited tremendously from that. I mean, he lived with me our age out year, so that was a big old ball of fun having him live in the house with us. And yeah, he's another guy I still talk to all the time, and I always check in to see how he's doing when I see that they play that night. So, yeah, I'd say those two probably.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of myself, Shops, Hags, really appreciate you coming on. We wish you the best of luck. We have this tendency to give some bumps out when we talk about people on the podcast, or hopefully when they come on. So if you start lighting it up next weekend or the weekend after, you know who to thank. But in all seriousness, we really appreciate everything. Good luck the rest of the way, and obviously we'll be in touch.
Thanks, boy. Thanks for having me. This was fun. Hopefully I get a bump though. That'd be nice. That'd
We'll
be really
see.
nice.
All right, later, man.
See you.